Go ahead. He's fine. Here we are. Let's give people a few minutes to get into the stream. We're here with Darren from, I guess we could say from the FANTAST Collection, right? Is that how we're referring to it?
Yeah, it is, for sure.
Soon to be the star of Selling Superman, the documentary.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I don't know. Yeah, star is a big word. We'll see.
Well, first of all, let's take it from the very beginning. Let's assume people don't know anything about the FANTAST Collection. What is the elevator pitch about what this thing is about?
Ooh, elevator pitch. I would say that it's a multi-generational collection, mostly from my father, passed down. The unique part of the FANTAST Collection itself as a collection is the scale. Well over 300,000 comics, well over 300,000 to 500,000 cards, mainly sports cards, all vintage.
I didn't know there were cards.
Oh, as many or more than comics,
Wow.
yes. And then other collectible items, there's some movie posters, some occult content, and so on. So that's the collection itself. The other part of the uniqueness is the way that it was shared, or I should say not shared. So this was something gathered by my father for over 50 years, and certainly over the course of my entire life, that he never shared with us as a family. It was always a secret thing.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was always a secret thing. He had all these boxes in the home, wouldn't let us look at it, wouldn't let us talk about it. It was very neurotic. Started oozing throughout the whole home, and really was a bad thing when we were younger. Really caused a huge wedge in our family.
Do you think he was a hoarder, or?
He was definitely a hoarder. It was not just limited to the collectibles. There were other things that he would hold on to for way too long. And yeah, I do think that.
People joke about this stuff. They're like, oh, I wish I could find a hoarder house or something like that. But it's not a joking matter when it's your life, right?
You're exactly right. And, that's part of what the tale and the film is being made about. It's being made by a good friend of mine from high school. Certainly was not my idea. I never thought that I'd, be part of something like this. But it is unique enough, and it is impacting people enough to make them look at their own collections and say, how is this impacting my family? Is this impacting my family? Am I enjoying this with my wife or my, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever the heck it may be? And then the kids, of course, and then having a plan once they pass. That was something that was huge, is that my father was an attorney and had absolutely no direction for any of these articles that he had assembled for 50 years.
We had talked about that on the show before, estate planning. Richard, what's your plan?
My plan is to have my wife call you.
You trust me that much? We've been friends
You guys
too
can
long.
never travel together. You always have to travel
That's
separately.
true.
Right?
Yeah,
It's
very
too
true.
important, right?
If the plane goes down, we're screwed. Yeah, I was telling you earlier today when we met that that your story resonated enough with me because I had a will and a living trust and things like that, but I'd never made a specific plan for the comics. And boy, I sure did after that.
Well, that's amazing to hear. And those kind of stories are what keep us driven to keep sharing at the personal level that we are, because it's been very daunting at times to share this, Absolutely. I mean, you're getting really personal. You're bringing up a lot of painful memories from childhood. I have a special needs younger brother who's impacted massively by this. He lived in the family home until my father basically passed, and he was very impacted. So, it sounds real nice on the surface, like, oh my God, you stumbled into this amazing, lump sum of collectibles and both the value and then the cool factor. But gosh, the inventorying and the securing and the moving and the logistics and the climate control of it, it's been incredible.
Is there a positive in all this that now you feel you've got something for your heirs?
Absolutely. That's definitely a part of it. I think very much. I have 4 stepchildren. They're very, very important to me. I consider them my own. I have multiple businesses and other things I've done in life that I've always prepared, but this is now another round of that. But really, I've enjoyed the most being able to enter this hobby with my close friends. My best friend Brian, who I'm walking around with today, my right-hand man in this process. He's collected comics all his life. Just the irony of that. That all of a sudden now he becomes one of these most profound collections around. Or it's really, kind of fairy tale in that sense. And all the introductions to amazing people I've met in this community. It's been very humbling.
Got anything?
No, I find the whole story fascinating. And as someone who has working on going through all of my aunt's stuff.
Wow.
I understand the emotional drain that this must be with you as well. I mean, they're not just comics.
No.
They're tied to you and your memories of your father and your family and your childhood. So that's got to be really, really, this adds an extra layer of difficulty to everything.
It does. I mean, there's times of, that I'll go through sadness, of course, and be like, wow, we just discovered this really cool thing, or we realized how significant one of his articles was. I'm like, wow, we really, he should have been part of enjoying that,
Yeah.
So there's that, but then there's a resentment sometimes. So like, darn it, why did you do this way? And, why couldn't we have had it the right way? And why didn't we do this as a family? So there's these emotional ties both ways, but the most thing we're focusing on is just, again, being a good part of this community, meeting people, being very fair and honest, getting things into the hands of people who really truly appreciate it. Because this stuff was just stashed away sterilely for years in white boxes, covered up. And that's not the way these things are meant to be enjoyed. I mean, people are meant to look at them and share them and get excited to own them and pull them out and be like, have a reminiscing moment about when they picked that up, and none of that was done with this collection.
We want to take it from the sterile, enclosed environment and put it in plastic and never touch them again.
Yeah.